Hey everybody, it's Alec here. I'm back at it again with another YouTube video, and I'm really excited about this one. I'm excited about all my YouTube videos, but this is a topic that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I think it would be great to make a video about it. So here we are. It's called How High-Level Coaches Can Create Their Own Speaking Tours. So before we get into it, if you guys don't know, my name is Alec Mountain. I am a coach and consultant specializing in helping coaches, consultants, and agency owners grow their client base and scale their business through the power of local community building and local events. For anybody that doesn't know my story or exactly how all of my strategies work, at some point you can click on the link in the description to watch my VSL, how I turn every $1 into 10 with local client getting events. But just to talk about my story briefly, when I moved to Southern California a couple years ago, I really didn't know anybody whatsoever. So what I did is I started running video ads promoting an entrepreneur community that I was creating. And the ads really took off. I was getting hundreds of email addresses, which ended up turning into thousands of email addresses over time. And yeah, from not knowing anybody where I lived to 2 months later doing a paid event where I sold over 120 tickets, using the strategies we're going to talk about in this video and of course in my VSL, it proved to be really effective. And about a year ago, I started helping other entrepreneurs put on events as well as a way to grow their brand in their area and of course to get clients. Because when I say it was effective, it was effective for multiple reasons. One is just great at growing my brand in the area, but secondly, it was, it's been very profitable. About the $20,000 that I spent on ads have turned into over $200,000 in revenue for my business. So from a business standpoint, local events have been amazing. And that's, why I'm really passionate about, what I'm doing and helping other people do their own events, because it's been a great way to build your brand, build community, meet a lot of amazing people, and also just have the economics work really well. However, for this video specifically, I want to talk about a concept inside of the greater concept of this. Because obviously not all my YouTube videos are going to be about the same thing as far as all of my strategies, client examples, how exactly this can work for you in your business. Again, at some point you can click on the link in the description if you haven't watched that video yet. But a topic that's come up a lot when I'm talking with clients and prospects is this idea of not just doing local events in your own area where you live, but also doing events outside of where you live as well, and kind of like going on tour. Because doing events is a way to grow your brand, at least for the strategies that I teach and I help people with. It's been really profitable, and when something is profitable, we want to we kind of have an urge to expand our events into new markets. And I was actually, I had this idea back in, it's the end of July of 2024. I had this idea back in December of 2023, which is, after having done events in Orange County specifically. So for those that aren't familiar with the geography, I started doing my events in Orange County, which is pretty much right in the middle of San Diego and Los Angeles. And I thought, hey, this is working really well. This has been a great way to get clients. Why don't I expand my influence in my events to other markets? So I remember I was going on a trip to Hawaii at the end of the year, and I just felt totally inspired to, on the plane, I remember I was just like, why don't I just expand into San Diego? Why don't I grow my brand out there as a way to get clients? Especially for my own business, because my business is helping other people put on events essentially and grow their brand through local community building strategies. And I'd love to have clients outside of Orange County. And at that time, I did have clients outside of Orange County, but I wanted to especially for me, I like working with people all across the U.S. and these strategies can even work anywhere in the world. But I just thought as a way for me to do events as a way to get clients, why don't I just do them in other markets so I can also get clients outside of Orange County as well. For, as a strategy of doing events to get clients. I get clients through a lot of other ways as well, but I just thought, hey, if I do events in these other areas outside of, where I live, I can also get clients to do events in those areas as well. So cool. So what I did was, this was back in March, using the same strategies that I used to grow in Orange County, I actually ended up expanding into San Diego. I started ads around the very end of December, I think, maybe very beginning of January. And I ran ads for a couple of months to build a huge contact list of people that wanted to attend my entrepreneur events in San Diego. Even though, I hadn't done events out there yet, I was just, piggybacking off of the success that I had in Orange County. And, those ads worked really well for generating contacts. And then, gosh, when was it? By the end of February, I guess, or very early March, I forget the timeline, I announced my first event in San Diego, which was actually at a WeWork location that I had partnered with. And I did my first event in San Diego, and at that time, I knew nobody in San Diego whatsoever, maybe like a handful of people. But gosh, up until this year, I hadn't been to San Diego that much. Now I'm going there much more frequently because either I'm doing an event down there or, I'm on a podcast down there, or I know people, or they have an event, whatever it might be. But at that point, I didn't know anybody in San Diego. And I made a joke, which was prior to that first event in San Diego, I knew 5 people. But after that event, I knew 55 people because I sold about 60 tickets and going at an 80% show rate. About 50 people came to that first San Diego event. And that really proved the concept for me, which is, and I already knew this because I've been working with clients in other states as well, but just wherever you want to do an event and create your own stage as a way to build your authority and get clients, you can absolutely do that. And I did another event actually in San Diego as well that following month. I think it was that following month in April, if I remember correctly, at this gorgeous, amazing venue. It was really awesome. And in a very short amount of time, I became not just well known in Orange County, but also well known in San Diego as well. And I was like, dang, this is great. And in March, I had a phenomenal, was it March? I had a really great month in business where I talked about how I made $40,000 that month. And I was just I'm just hyped right now. I've been getting a lot of clients from my events. So let's also expand into LA. So I ended up actually running these same community building ads, not just in Orange County where I was originally, but I also was running the same ad but for San Diego, and also I was running an LA ad. So at one point I was building lists in all 3 places, and the goal was to do an event in each place every other week. So it'd be this week I would do Orange County. 2 weeks after that, I would do an event in San Diego, and then 2 weeks after that, I would do an event in LA, and then 2 weeks after that, I would go back to Orange County. So I would basically do an event in each place, each major hub in Southern California. I would do an event there in each place every 6 weeks. So just every other week, I would do one in San Diego, LA, or Orange County. And I ended up not following through with that because I really didn't feel inspired at that time to do that many events all the time. Because I just felt hey, one event per month, or every 5 weeks, whatever it might be, that's enough for me. I'm cool doing events just in San Diego and Orange County. I didn't really want to drive out to LA. So I still have a big contact list out there. Haven't done an event in LA yet. But this is just sort of proving the concept, which is, you can, if I wanted to host an event in LA, like I already have an audience there because I've been running these local community building ads there. So it can work super effective. And if you guys don't know what these local community building ads, if you're like wondering, if you haven't seen the VSL and you're wondering like, what the heck does this look like? Let me show you real quick. For example, this is the one that, you know, I had been running in Orange County to build my brand.
Orange County people.
If you're an entrepreneur that's looking to grow your network, meet like-minded people, and expand your knowledge, then you've got to sign up for my events list. I'm hosting really great events in Orange County all about marketing, brand building, and other business-related topics that you're not going to find anywhere else. These events attract a really solid crowd of entrepreneurs, and being a part of this community is going to allow you to create more opportunity in all areas of your life. All you have to do is go to the website, submit your contact information, and I'll let you know as soon as our next events are happening. Talk to you soon.
See you soon.
Yeah, so I recommend you watch the VSL if you haven't already, link in the description. But essentially, this is how I grow a contact list prior to doing an event there, and this is what I help all my clients with. So that way, by the time it's, you know, by the time you're ready to do your first event, you already have hundreds of email contacts, and then you sell tickets, essentially, and you can, you know, fill rooms. And then the goal is to never like turn these ads off because they're working so well. You're getting so many contacts. Remember, you're not just selling tickets, you're growing an email database. And you can market to that database whenever you want for whatever reason. And you're also getting a bunch of Instagram followers at the same time. So anyway, yeah, at one point I had the same exact ad, but instead of saying Orange County, I also had San Diego people, LA people, Orange County people. And now if you haven't seen the Hawaii video where I'm documenting my process about doing an event all the way in Hawaii, it's like my new project to document that whole experience, which is fun. I'm doing the same thing. I'm running a very similar ad. So I've just been, as I talked about previously, I've been having this conversation with certain prospects that are like interested in doing, not just doing an event where they live, but also doing an event in other areas that they're frequently at. And most of the people that I work with are, you know, pretty high level, you know, coaches and consultants. And they talk a lot about, you know, wanting to go on tour and wanting to speak to a lot of different crowds as a way to build their authority in that area, as well as you know, a way to get clients. Because, you know, in the way that I've done events, it's been really profitable as a way for me to grow my business, and I've been doing this for a lot of other people as well, and the results have been really great for them too. So the question has not just been about like, oh, how can we do it here? But like, how can we also do it in multiple places? Like, let's say I spend my time in 3 areas. I'm in LA, I'm in Phoenix, and I'm also in, let's say, Seattle. Is there a way that I could, every month, I could, you know, do an event there? Like on the first Wednesday of the month, I do an event in California. The second Wednesday I do one in Phoenix, Arizona, and the third one I do in Seattle. And the answer is like, absolutely, because you can run these ads simultaneously in different areas, build up huge lists, and then whenever you want to do an event in those areas, you can just promote to that email list. And again, we're creating that demand through these local community building ads. And, you know, based on the ad that I just showed you, what we're essentially doing is, you know, why would somebody want to attend your events, especially if, you know, they haven't heard of you before? And it's really because when you run these ads, my ad specifically is very broad. It's going after like all entrepreneurs, because hey, if you're an entrepreneur, I know a lot of coaches and consultants, you guys might target a variety of business owners, which is cool. Maybe you work with people in a bunch of different fields, or maybe you work with, you know, entrepreneurs in very specific fields. Like maybe it's a certain area of, you know, maybe it's like e-commerce, or maybe you specifically work with experts like other coaches, authors, speakers, that sort of thing. With these ads, you can really build an audience, a target audience of whoever you want to go after. So it's really up to you. For me in my business, I've just found that I use this as like a massive networking tool. And for me, I've just found through experience that it's best for me to target a broad audience, but it's totally up to you. And I've worked with a variety of clients in different verticals. Yeah, so you can, target people by occupation, also by like gender as well. Like let's say you just specifically work with men, then you can create a community specifically for like high performing men. Or I'm working with a client right now that's been really successful targeting female entrepreneurs, and that's worked really well too. So it's really up to you who you want to go after based on who your clientele really is. And that's the thing. So, and on top of that, you're creating a community saying, hey, if you want to network, meet like-minded people, expand your knowledge. This is similar types of messaging that a lot of my clients use. So they're joining your email list because they want to be part of this community that you're building. It's not about you, it's about the community. So that's a very important thing. It's especially in these ads, you're not pitching your services, you're pitching a community, which is really why people who have just seen you, this is cold traffic. You're marketing to people that don't know you. You're gonna get really cheap contacts between $2, $3, $4 typically. It depends on who you're marketing to, but you're gonna get cheap contacts and build an email list of hundreds of people because people want to meet other people, and it just happens to be, and they want to be part of a community. And it just happens to be that you're the leader of this community. So then you might be thinking, okay, well, I'm going to sell tickets to these events. Are these networking events? Where do I come in? Where do I sell my services? Again, a lot of these questions can be answered if you watch the VSL, but I'll briefly go over it here, which is at these events, a primary reason why people come to these events is to meet other people. But there's been several occasions where, at my events, I've given a 15, 30-minute presentation around my own area of expertise. And following a presentation like that, I've pitched my offer, and I've gotten, paid consultations, which have been, that have resulted in getting high ticket clients for my business. And, I've had clients that have done the same thing. Even just if you have an offer that's broad enough to a wide variety of business owners, I've just even, directly pitched, even without giving a super informative presentation prior, and just said, hey, you guys are all in this business because you want to grow as business people, you want to make more money, serve more clients. This is what I have. This is what I help people with. If you want to hop on a strategy session with me, it's $99. I'm only offering it to the first 10 people. Offer expires tonight. You make sales at that event. You basically get people to pay you for a consultation, and then you get sales that way. There's other ways that you can do it. That's just like the most common way that I've seen work for myself and my clients. But yeah, so if you're someone that's like, I don't necessarily I might have this dream of going to another city that either I go to frequently or I've never been before, and just hosting an event there and growing my personal brand. And nobody's giving you that opportunity. I'm just letting you know that through these strategies, it can very well be done. And just a little bit about me, like when I did my first event, back when I was 20 years old, I really wanted to talk about personal branding, and nobody was really giving me an opportunity to talk on stage. So I was just like, I'll just create my own opportunity. I'll create my own stage. And I did that, and it was a fun event. It was a great learning experience. That was actually the first time I'd publicly spoken. And then back again when I moved to Southern California, Irvine specifically a couple of years ago, I wanted to talk on stage as a way to grow my brand and get clients. And I did that through the very strategies that I showed you. And I did it in San Diego, and I'm doing it in Hawaii next month. And I'm helping my clients, all across the nation do the same thing. So if you're just cool with doing it like just where you live because it's the most convenient, the strategy works. But if you're someone that has like bigger aspirations, and maybe you're already on tour, by the way, because you might already be speaking at a bunch of different events, and you're thinking, how can I better fill these events? using this strategy is a sure way to do that. If you want to add an extra 50 to 60, 70 people at your events, keep in mind this strategy is for like, when we're selling tickets, they're generally like low ticket, so they're between like, let's say $30 and $50. But yeah, if you're already doing events in other cities and you're doing that on a regular basis and you're just like, I would love to fill an extra 50 seats at these events, then this strategy, or even more, these strategies will definitely work for you. However, if you're not at that level yet and you're just like, I want to be one of those people that goes on tour in different cities and speaking to a crowd of people and building community there, and then from getting all these people together, pitching them something on stage as a way to get clients, that works as well. So whether you're already somebody speaking a lot and you want to just amplify your presence in certain areas, this definitely works. However, if you haven't been doing a lot of that yet and you want to start doing that, then this definitely works. Because I talk to a lot of coaches and consultants and they get so excited to speak. The fact of the matter is that you can speak much more often if you do these strategies. And in the ways that you do it, you won't lose any money on the ad spend generally. Because generally, if you follow these exact steps and the ways that I do it, the ticket sales should pay for all of the ad spend. So that's taking, or more. I have clients that make twice as much in ticket sales as they spend on ads. That's like a really good scenario, but generally at the minimum, you should be able to cover your ticket sales with the ad spend. But then it comes down to venue costs as well, because it costs money to do events. Obviously, you can form partnerships as a way to get costs down. And also, if you want to, save a lot of time and make sure that you do things the most effective way, you could go ahead and hire me. So there's a couple of other costs associated. It's not just ad spend, but it's also venue costs and then hiring an expert. But if you're able to just get 1 or 2 high ticket clients from each event that you do, it more than pays for all of these costs. And it would be very profitable for you, which is a big reason on why you would want to do this in the first place. So if you're established, you know how to sell, you're confident in what you do, then you could really host events in as many cities as you want. like if you had that personality, you're just like, I want to be on stage in all these areas, fantastic. You can do that. So this is just something that people have been asking me a lot recently who are interested in the strategy and even potentially working with me, is like, hey, once this works in this area, can we expand to all these other markets? And the answer is 100% yes. It's like, why not? When I started doing this strategy in Orange County, I was like, okay, there's something here in Orange County. But I've proven it in other markets, not just in California, but in other states in the United States. And I know I don't have any international clients at the time that I'm making this video, but I know for sure that this would work in other areas outside of the States as well, such as in the UK, parts of Europe, Australia, and I was actually going to do an event in Bali. I ended up not doing it. And I was going to do some events in some other areas of Asia as well. I just decided not to take that Asia trip this summer. But let me tell you, if I was going to go somewhere on vacation and maybe stay for an extended period of time, I would definitely build out a community over there, because it's a great way to build my personal brand. And when I do so profitably, it's like, why would I not do that? And again, if you're selling something high ticket, something that's at least $5,000 or $10,000. I mean, I talk with people that have much bigger offers than that even. But if you're selling something at a minimum of that amount, then you can make this work so well, honestly. And once it starts working really well, let's say in the place that would be easiest for you to do an event, which would be likely where you live, if it's a metropolitan area, because you want it to be a metropolitan area because you want the ads to work properly, right? And if there's not a lot of people, it's harder to, fill a room. But that's generally where people start. But after this starts working, do this anywhere. And if you are one of those people that is already, on tour, promoting your products and your services across the country, and you just want to fill more seats, then you can just integrate the strategy right into your business. And these ads, ideally they work so well that you never want to turn them off. So you can easily be getting hundreds of contacts in every single place every month. And then when you go back to that place, you have more and more people to market your events to, not to mention all of the attention that you'll be getting from running these ads on Instagram as well. They run on Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, you get a lot of followers, you get a lot of email contacts, and those result into tickets. You make money through ticket revenue, selling something on stage. However, the gold really lies in the clients that you get from it. So that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. It would help me out a lot. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't checked out my VSL where I talk about how to do these strategies in detail from inception of the idea to filling rooms, make sure you click on the VSL in the description below. And that's that, and also you can follow me on Instagram at Alec Mountain. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm going to be putting out a lot more YouTube videos. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.